successfully juggling through your many tasks while trying to be the best version of yourself can be one of the most rewarding experiences of life, yet a rather daunting task. Now join Cresta Durojaiye, Africa's leading productivity expert and life strategist, as she equips and empowers you with practical tools that bring organization and structure to help you be more efficient and live your best life possible. If you struggle with pulling it all together and need someone to handhold you through the process, this is the podcast for you. You're listening to Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye.
Hello and welcome to another week on the Life Lessons podcast. Our discussion today is tagged the best version of yourself. Now, being the best version of yourself means consistently being the best that you can be at every point in time by constantly raising the bar to ensure improvement every step of the way. Being the best version is a lifestyle and not a destination that, we arrive at and then we feel, okay, we have arrived. As a lifestyle, it just requires us to make progress daily as long as we are living, as against rushing to arrive and then that's it. We no longer grow, we no longer improve or advance ourselves. No. Now, we must be careful though, not to make that mistake of thinking that being the best version of ourselves is the same thing as being the best version of an imitation of someone else. Because in looking around our world, we can see so clearly that we have mastered that act of copying so well that we are fast losing our unique individuality. And it is sad. Everyone wants to be just like the next person, losing our touch of originality and forgetting too quickly that we were each created the way we are for a reason, to impact our world with our various unique gifts and talents. That's what makes the world a complete place. Be you and do you to the best of your ability. And that's what we mean when we say be the best version of yourself. So we grow and groom ourselves today to be able to do better than we did yesterday. Now, that constant implementation is key. It ensures consistent and continued growth and progress. Meanwhile, the staccato style where we grow today and stall tomorrow, we don't do anything for a long time, then all of a sudden, boom, we come out and, on and on. That staccato style, it doesn't yield results. And we should know also that the measurement parameters to use would be more centered around us today versus us yesterday, with the idea being that we're checking to see that our progress is continued and that we're doing better than we did the previous day. But if we are comparing us today versus other people, then we are going to be spending all of our lives living in competition. And that, I tell you, is stressful. Now, some tips to being the best version of yourself. One, we have to consistently raise the bar. We must always be prepared to do away with our old self. This means always raising the bar and creating new standards for ourselves, constantly striving to be and to do better than what we did yesterday, better than our former best. That is trying to be the best version of yourself. Two, we invest in growing and developing ourselves. Now, the best of people never stop learning. So if we want to be the best version of ourselves, then we must also keep learning, keep developing, keep improving. And an active way of engaging in developing ourselves is reading. Reading helps, and it's a good place to start. Number 3, we need to master and tame our fears. Now, I can tell you for free that the moment you decide to, begin working towards being the best version of yourself, fear creeps in. That fear of whether you'll be successful in the first place comes. But I would say confront those fears and do it afraid. I remember we talked about that in episode 15 of the Life Lessons podcast. Do it afraid. So regardless of the fear that comes along the way, you confront it, you tame it, and you still do what you need to do. Now, number 4, you have to act, and act again. Now, we must learn to implement and act out what we learn. In fact, I would say we should place more emphasis on implementing over taking in. I realize that a lot of times we go for conferences, we go for a lot of events where we're taught and we learn a lot of stuff. We take them in, we absorb them, but we never implement or use or act them out. So I would say act, and act again. Number 5, choose consistent baby steps over occasional giant steps. Now, getting super motivated and aiming for unrealistic growth over short terms is unsustainable. Instead, let us aim to improve or grow by as small as 1% daily. And that is more achievable and it is more sustainable. Over time, we would have gained more grounds even. Now, number 6, consolidate your efforts. You gain more grounds and make more progress when you consolidate your efforts instead of spreading yourself too thin, doing 1,000,001 things and not gaining grounds on anyone. So bring all of your strength and efforts together and grow one thing. And when you have gained grounds there, you can now expand and, continue the process on and on. So consolidate your efforts. It helps in building the best version of yourself. Number 7, give back. Yes, give of what you have. Now, the more you give from what you have, so you have learned and you have imbibed some knowledge. Now, as you teach it and groom and add value to others from what it is that you have and know, you tend to grow. You yourself grow. The more you teach and groom, the more you grow. And the final one, number 8, choose your company. Choose wisely who you spend quality time with and what you spend quality time doing. Spend more time with people who, challenge you to be better and constantly task, your brain. It is also a good way to, replenish after you've given back, you've taught people and you've acted and implemented. You replenish by, spending quality time with people who can challenge you to even grow and be better. Now remember, when you give back, you leak virtue. So replenishing is a way of, topping up and overflowing from your banks or from your reservoir so that you yourself are not running on empty. Now, being the best version of yourself gives you something to strive towards that makes you jump out of bed with glee and, motivates you to keep going. So what are you waiting for? Start somewhere, start anywhere, and let's be about the business of becoming the best versions of ourselves. And you have a truly productive week. Cheers.
If you enjoyed this episode of Life Lessons with Cresta Durojaiye, now don't forget to leave a comment and of course, share with those you love.